Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm just going to be sharing with you some of the things that I like to sort of do at the start of the year to get myself really organised and set myself up for a good year, and also some of the things that I just do sort of all year round as well. I know some people aren't lucky enough to have the school holidays off or to have time off over Christmas, and that is absolutely fine, but I still think doing some of these things will really help you really get ahead as well. So if you do have kids and things like that that go to school and you don't have the time off, you've still got those time off like sporting commitments and things like that, but you can sort of still squeeze these sorts of things in. That's how I feel anyway. So that's sort of when I'd be trying to squeeze this sort of stuff in. So then you can, as I said, set yourself up for a really good year. So anyway, if you enjoy home organization and home improvement type content, then definitely hit the subscribe button and let's jump in. Okay, first up, I think this is a given. I think you all know that I'm going to say this, and that is to declutter your home. You've just had Christmas and you've gotten extra stuff, and you may have a little bit of extra time off at the moment because you're not having to go to those extra curricular activities for kids and things like that, or run around after grandkids. So definitely take advantage of that time and start to do a bit of decluttering and organize those new bits and pieces that you've got for Christmas if you need to organize bits and pieces. As you guys know, I did just get a new little kitten, and he has a lot of things that come with him, so I definitely need to make space to organize his bits and pieces. This is also an excellent time to sell things if you do have the time off, because you are going to be at home that little bit more. So definitely keep that in mind when you are decluttering. One of the little hacks that I like to do is, if something is brand named, I'll actually go onto Facebook and I will type in the brand and then type in buy, swap and sell. So there's one for Country Road, for instance, or Luciana, the kids brand, and I will often post things onto those sites, and then people will just pay me by PayPal and pay the extra for postage, and then when I go to the supermarket I can actually just post the things and I'm not waiting around for anyone to come to the house, because I think that is one of the most annoying things about selling to people, is you're waiting for people to come to the house and sometimes they don't even turn up. So this is a really good little hack if you are selling things at the moment. Okay, so I've learned a couple of things from selling things from Marketplace. One is always put up pickup location. A lot of the time people will message you and ask you where the pickup is, and they're often people from like Melbourne and Geelong, like outside my area, and then they don't want it. So it just saves me getting so many messages. The other one was to always put the heights and dimensions in it, because people also want to know that sort of stuff. Not everybody, of course, wants to know it, but if it's there, again, another question that's not going to be asked. It's one of those things you want to be bothered as least as possible and to kind of just get it sold. So, okay, so the next thing that I recommend doing is just really review all the things that you've done for the year that sort of have and haven't been working, and what you can do to improve for the following year. Like some things are just really such a trial and error and learning curve, and I feel like that is where I'm at with my life organization, you could say. So yes, I was using this calendar. As you can see, my cat's just chewed that, so I'm hoping he's not going to get sick. He's like a puppy. But anyway, you can see I started it on the 16th of the month, which is not ideal because obviously the month starts on the 1st, which automatically tells you that I'm not using it right, because it should be written up at the start of the month so I can see all my appointments. This quite frequently happens to me, so I can see that this organizing product, it does work for me when I use it properly, but when I don't have time and things get on top of me and I'm not using it properly, it just doesn't work for me. So what I ended up getting, and I don't know if this is going to work because it's just trial and error, I feel like this might be too small, but I got this wall calendar. So this has the entire year on it. So as the appointments come up, I can actually just write them straight onto this. But I'm going to trial it and see what happens. This was $8 from Kmart. Now, originally I wanted to make a product similar to this myself because I was having the issue that I'm having with the other planner. But yeah, I'm hoping this is going to work. I'm going to give it a trial, and that's the one thing I'm going to try and do to keep organized for this year. In saying that, I think the best thing you can do for this time of year is to book appointments that you may be due or soon to be sort of due so that you're not doing it during the school year as much, like going to the dentist, for instance, or getting haircuts, you know, those sorts of appointments, trying to fit them in with the after school sports and things like that, or just after school in general, and everyone is just tired. I think if you can actually squeeze those in the school holidays, you're much better off. As I said, even if you're still working, squeezing them in after work is probably going to be better for you than trying to squeeze them in for work when you've still got after school sports the other nights, and then trying to make another night where you're exhausted. So the next thing I like to do is to buy gifts. I know this sounds really weird, but at the start of the year, they've got all your stock take sales and they're just getting rid of so many things. So what I like to do is go to places like Smiggle and get like their 3 for $10 deals. Things like this, where they're like the color changing textures. This was $10. These are super popular. You can use them for boys and for girls, like for kids presents. So I thought that was really good. The other place that you can sort of scope things out for gifts, it sounds very strange, is the op shop. Some people might be a bit funny about this, but I'm going to give you an example. I just got this. It's the Adventure Challenge. Now, these are not cheap. I reckon this one I looked up was about $40. It has not been used. So basically, it's like a scratchy, and you scratch it and it tells you what like adventure to do for the day, and you have a little spot where you can write and a little spot where you can take a photo. But this was $3. It was unused, and at this time of the year you'll find that a lot of people are donating things that they got for Christmas that are unopened, unused, that would make perfect gifts. So definitely check the op shop out for gift ideas as well. One of the must-do things that I do pretty much all year round, but is super important when it is before going back to school and work and things for the year, is to batch cook. And that is because we've just had time off and everybody is going to be tired getting back into the routine of things. So if you've got food that you've got sitting in the freezer that you can just reheat and, you know, put out when you get home from work and from school and things like that, it is going to make your life so much easier because you're already exhausted. And also your kids, they'll be exhausted too, and you don't want any of those tantrums going on. So giving them food that bit earlier, because they are tired, you've got it all ready and sitting there and ready to go, so you can sort of do that sort of thing. Okay, this is the absolute game changer that I've been doing. So I'm going to divide half of this up and put it into here. And then I'm going to make one lot of spaghetti bolognese and the other lot I'm going to make tacos. So you can see I've just cooked up all the same ingredients for the same, like for 2 different things. So that just saves me so much time because I'm able to cook more of a variety of food. Yeah, we don't get sick of it. So that's how I've done it. Yes, I'm just going to cook it up in my glorious looking pot here. Yes, apparently it's got plenty of life in it. And there we go. Excuse me, I am very cozy inside my Audi today, getting a bit of admin done. But I also thought I would share with you how I organise like my clothes and Talia's clothes for the week, just to get us really on top of things. This is something that I've been doing pretty much, I think, all year last year. I started doing some of this even before this. So basically what I have here is little bags. Now these go inside the big school bag, so without showing you her school place, but this is a school bag. So these are little bags for her sporting things. So I have, this is like her calisthenics bag, and then I've got even this little small bag which also has more dance stuff in it, but you can put snacks and things like that in it, and these easily fit inside the school bag, so that she only has one school bag because she's only a young child, and I feel that that's a lot of responsibility for her to be dragging extra bags around for her extracurricular activities. Because her dad was taking her to dancing, it wasn't myself. I had to do something like this where normally, you know, I could have the extra bag and just put it in the car and, you know, straight after school we can go there. So for swimming, I do the exact same thing. I actually have a complete spare backpack which has all the swimming gear in and that as well. I would show you, but my mum's taken Talia swimming today. So yeah, that's just how I deal with the sports stuff, and this is sort of how I deal with all of her school uniforms and my work stuff. And check it out, that is the whole week already organised, which is so good, with, you know, undies, socks and her pants. My daughter does not wear jumpers, so they go in the bottom of her bag, but she definitely is, you know, messy and dirty enough to need a new uniform every day. So this works perfect for us, but you could definitely do this with work uniforms as well. So if you are working in a workplace where you know that you're always going to get dirty, like I used to work in fast food, always had a new clean uniform every day. And then when I worked in childcare and I worked in a baby room, same thing, I always had a new thing each day because kids would spew on me and, you know, bending over and cleaning mess and all that sort of thing. So you can definitely do it with your own clothes or even weekend outfits as well. But you know what I do tend to do, I have this wear again hook system. So I can put my pajamas on here, but I can also put on my work clothes and uni clothes and stuff, because I have a new job now where I don't really have a uniform as such. Like obviously I can't wear anything that's, you know, exposing or anything like that or too casual, but yeah, I love these hooks because I can just put my work clothes and my uni clothes on here, and then I can, whatever is dirty for that day, so say the pants might not be dirty but the tops are dirty, I can put the tops in the wash and still have the pants on the wear again hook and sort of just like a mix and match. And also sometimes when you don't have a uniform, you don't want to be that person that, it sounds stupid, I don't know if anyone feels this way, but that wears the same clothes all week. If you can mix and match, you can kind of just get away with, you know, looking like you're wearing something different. I personally only wear my clothes usually about 2 times in a row if I can get away with it, and then it goes in the wash. But everybody's hygiene is completely different from one another. But yeah, love these wear again hook system, it works perfectly. Okay, so this next one is about sorting emails. So especially over Christmas, you just get lumbered with that many emails. It is ridiculous. Like I think my email list emails went up to over 200 and something. It could have even been 400 and something. It was ridiculous. You know, they'll send you 3 emails a day, some companies.
A little hack to organize the new year. These are all my subscriptions. So if you go to a place called unroll.me and then you put in your email address, it will come up with everything that you are subscribed to, and then you can literally just go here and then just go unsubscribe all or keep all, and then yeah, that's just a really quick and easy way to unsubscribe. And I went from 188 subscriptions to 36 subscriptions, and that's so much easier. It took me about 5 minutes.
Okay, this one here is something that is going to take you a bit of time, but it's also going to save you a lot of money, and that is like going through your bills and going through your subscriptions and things like that. I know on the Apple phone, pretty sure there's a spot that you can go into and see all your subscriptions, and you'll be surprised at what apps are costing you what, and you can sort of get rid of them. And then yeah, just going through your bills, even ringing your billing company, seeing if you can get a better deal. One of the things that I always do, and that is I keep my bills and I actually add them up and have a like spreadsheet, and then at the end of the year I add up how much it was for the entire year, and then I divide it, and then I'm able to pay direct debit to each of the billing companies, and then that way I know that my bills are always paid. I always go off the original bill amount, not the pay on time account. And the reason why I do go off the higher amount is because if I end up using a lot of energy or something happens, I have that buffer in there so that I'm actually able to pay that bill. So that's something that's really worked for me. It's worked for me so well that I was over $1,000 in advance on my bill. So I actually didn't pay any of my bills over December and January, and I've actually got them to credit back $1,000 into my bank account. So it sort of ended up being like a little savings, and that was through NG Australia. So yes, it's definitely worth doing it. You could make a lot more interest in your bank account if you saved, but yeah, that's just something that I did, and it was just been so much less stressful for me. Another thing that I like to do is I like to sort through all my photos, because they are just literally left to sit in your phone to die, I feel like half the time. You can have thousands of photos that you've never done anything with, but if there's something was to happen to your phone, you'd be absolutely devastated. So definitely, if you've got the time, go ahead and do something. I do have a scrapbooking book for my daughter, and we do scrapbook a lot of her stuff, and that is a really cute activity and fun activity for us to do together. But I have just downloaded an app, it's called Once Upon a Time, and I'm actually going to be making photo books, and they'll sit on my coffee table and things like that, rather than having like books that you buy that just to sit there for looks that you don't ever look through. I'm actually going to be getting photo books that start that beautiful conversation that everyone can look at, and you know, it's got some fun memories in there. There is an app that you can also get on your phone. So if you've got heaps and heaps of photos and lots of duplicates, where it will actually show you all the duplicates that you've got in your phone, and it's easy for you to go and delete photos. So if you are selecting those photos to put in your photo books, that might be something to consider to do beforehand, so that you've actually, you know, able to cull some of those photos and you know what you're getting. Any of those purchases that you need to make that are only available at the start of the year. So, you know, things like your diaries, your calendars, things like that, a lot of that, because, you know, it's a start of the year thing, they'll just get cleared out and you can't buy them sort of towards the end of the year. So yeah, definitely think about things like that. But also, it sounds strange, but this is a container that I have, and this is only available before back to school times. So I stocked up last year and the year before, and this year I have bought the remaining of how many that I wanted. The reason why I like buying these is I think those little tubs of yogurt are so much more expensive than buying a big tub, so it saves me money. But not only that, I am environmentally conscious, so that is why I pack my own as well. So just little purchases like these that aren't available during the year. And then also reviewing what you sort of think that you might need to make your life a little bit easier. So I actually went to the op shop today, and I've been actually trying to scope out the same pair of jeans as what I'm wearing, but I didn't want to pay the Just Jeans price because they're really expensive to go to work and get paint on them, because that's what I would be. So I picked these up for $8. I've been looking for a while, so it's not like I haven't been looking for a while, but that is something that is going to save me money, because I don't have to go and buy a new pair of these when I get paint on them and they're paint stained, because I simply just do not have enough pants to wear to work. So I was wearing these to work, and I'd be devastated if something happened to them. So the next one is to service any things that need to be serviced. So that is like your computer and your iPads or anything like that. So getting someone to clean everything off it and servicing it. So you probably want to go through and just make sure that you've know what you want to keep and delete what you can, but they will give it a good clean out. They'll make sure that there's no viruses and put a virus thing on it if it needs to. It's definitely worth doing it, especially because you will be starting to need it if you go back to school or go back to work, sort of type things. So this is a really good time to get those things serviced. So anyway, if you do want to see any more organizing type videos, let me know what sort of things you want to see. Someone did talk about an organized home tour, and I am more than happy to do that, but I'm actually thinking I'm going to be doing a lot of decluttering to try and downsize, because I have been thinking about selling. So I'm looking at downsizing, and I think I will do an organized home tour after I do that. But you will actually see, if you watch those decluttering videos, you're actually going to be able to see all the organization that I have in place in those parts of the house anyway. So you sort of get a really good idea of what's going on. So definitely keep an eye out on those videos. But as I said, I will be doing an organized home tour at some stage. But if there's something that you want to see, like me organizing at the start of each month, or what I do each week, anything like that, or just any video request, just leave a comment below, and I will see what I can do for you. So I hope you guys all have a great week, and I will catch up with you very soon. I'll see you then. Bye.